Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be working on something a little bit different. We're not going to be working on pennies and dimes anymore. We're going to be working on graphing. Our I can statement is, I can organize, represent, and interpret data. Whoa, those were some big words, don't you think? We're going to go over what each of those words means today, but I first want you to say the I can statement with me. So I'm going to read it again, and then I want you to read it back with me. I can organize, represent, and interpret data. Ready? I can organize, represent, and interpret data. So I said we're going to be using a graph. But what is a graph? A graph is used to compare the number of items between two or more things. Do you remember when we had Skittles? You each had your own pack and you opened them up and sorted the amount of colors you had. So you sorted all the red Skittles together, orange Skittles together, yellow Skittles together, green Skittles together, and purple Skittles together in groups. So that is your data, how many Skittles you had. But you put it into groups, and then we graphed each group. So if you look at the purple Skittles, they have their own column. This is called a bar graph. Can you say bar graph? These look like bars. So the purple has a bar, green has a bar, yellow has a bar, orange has a bar, and red has a bar. How high it goes, tell me how many I have. So if I were to look at my graph, how many yellow Skittles did I have? 1, 2, 3. In my pack, I had 3 yellow Skittles. So we're going to be working on bar graphs today with information that we've gathered about the weather in May. Let's do an example together on something different. Let's think about comparing cookies, cupcakes, and donuts. So I went to the store and I saw all these yummy looking treats and I bought them. So this is my data or my information. This is what I have. So the first part in getting my data or information ready to graph on a bar graph is to organize it. Do I have my data or information in groups? No. So first I need to organize it in groups. So this is the word organize. Can you say organize? I put my cookies in a group, my donuts in a group, and my cupcakes in the group. Now that I have them grouped together, I can represent this information on my bar graph. So our next part is to represent. So instead of just saying I have 2 cookies or showing you, I could put it on my bar graph. So I have 2, but I'm going to color in 2 blocks of my bar graph to represent that I have 2 cookies. I have 3 donuts. So above donuts, I'm going to color in 3 blocks to represent that I have 3 donuts. I have 4 cupcakes, so I'm going to color in 4 blocks on my bar graph to represent that I have 4 cupcakes. So instead of showing someone all of your items, you can show them on a bar graph. And it would look something like this. Now it's time to interpret our data. Can you say interpret? Interpret. When we interpret, we talk about our bar graph, and we talk about things we might have the most of, things we might have the least of. So for instance, what do I have the most of? If you were to look at my bar graph, could you tell what item I have the most of? Is it the cookies, cupcakes, or donuts? If I were to look at this bar graph, could you tell Me, what I have the least of? Is it cookies, cupcakes, or donuts? I can also think about how many more blank do I have than blank. So how many more donuts do I have than cookies? Or how many more cupcakes do I have than cookies? If you said I have the most cupcakes, you are correct, because if you look at this column or bar for cupcakes, it's the highest. It's full all the way. And also notice how I have each column or bar a different color to help me separate the groups. So if I were to look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cupcakes. So I have the most cupcakes. The question was, what do I have the least of? I have the least amount of cookies, because if you see, cookies only have 1, 2 boxes full, and they're smaller, or it's lower than the rest of the bars. Now let's think about the question, how many more cupcakes do I have than cookies? Do you know? I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cupcakes, and I have 2 cookies. So I can write this as 4 minus 2 to figure out what the difference is. So I have 2 more cupcakes than I do have cookies. Even if I started here on cookies, I could count up to figure this out. 1, 2. I have 2 more cupcakes than I do have cookies. So we organized our data. We represented the data using the bar graph, and then we interpreted the data by talking about things we see the most of and things we see the least of. Did I have anything that was the same amount? No, but that would be another good one to talk about. If you have the same amount of cookies as donuts, that'd be a great thing to interpret. So we've been talking about the weather on our calendar, and I've been keeping track on our calendar too, and I also encourage you guys to keep a journal at home. So we have been tracking if the days have been sunny, so there's no clouds in the sky and the sky is blue with the sun shining all day. So that would be a sunny day. We've talked about partly sunny days, which you can see the sun, but there's also some clouds. Then we talked about cloudy days when you can't see the sun at all. It's just very cloudy and not as bright outside. Then we talked about rainy days, which means it's cloudy out and it's wet out because it's raining. So I've been keeping track of these on our May calendar. Now it is Friday, May 15th. So we're not all the way through May, but we're gonna go through what the weather has been like so far in May. So I've started here on the 1st of May, and we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've gone through 15 days of May, so I've kept track of the weather for each day. Now, has the weather been the same each day? No, it hasn't. You'll see there's purple marks, red or pink marks, yellow marks, and green marks, and they all mean something different. The yellow mark means it was a sunny day. The pink mark means it was a partly sunny day. The purple mark means it was a cloudy day. The cloud with the raindrop mark means it was a rainy day. So if we look back, can you tell already what kind of weather we had the most of? Well, today we're going to organize our data. We're going to represent it on a bar graph, and then you're going to interpret your data by telling me and describing me what you see the most of and what you see the least of. So remember, this yellow one that has the sun is a sunny day. The pink one that has the cloud and sun is a partly sunny day. The purple one is a cloudy day, and the cloud with the raindrops is a rainy day. So you're going to have a bar graph like this on your seesaw activity today. You have sun, partly sunny, cloudy, and rainy. So depending how many sunny days you see on our calendar, you're going to fill in that many boxes. Another good strategy would be to use your drawing tool to write your numbers going up. So I'd start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So depending how many sunny days, you're going to fill in that many. It'd be good to switch your colors up so you can tell the difference in your bars too. So I would maybe even make my my sun bar or column yellow, my partly sunny pink, my cloudy purple, and my green, or I'm sorry, my rainy days green. So this is what your seesaw activity looks like. You have a picture of our calendar so far. So what you're going to do is you are going to count up the number of each kind of weather. So if I saw the sun, I would count how many sunny days I had and use my drawing tool to write the number to the side. This is me organizing my data. Same with partly sunny. I would count how many I see up here and write the number. Same with cloudy days. Count how many purple cloudy days you see and write how many. And rainy days. Count how many green rainy day marks you see and write the number. Then you are going to color in each box to represent the number of each kind of day you've seen. So if like you've seen maybe 10 sunny days, you would fill in 10 blocks to represent those 10 days. All right, then I want you to use the microphone tool. It's this one right here, and if you look over here, it's the one under the T. You press on that, and I want you to record yourself describing the weather for May so far. So when we describe or interpret the data, you want to think about, what do you have the most of? What did we have, or what kind of weather did we have the most of so far in May? I want to hear, what did I have the least of? So you can describe what kind of weather did we have the least of. Then you can describe how many more of the most you had than the least. So say I had the most cloudy days, how many more cloudy days than I had of my least, which was partly sunny? That's just an example, it's not the answer. All right, and then I also want you to circle the weather you've had the most of using red, and circle the weather you had the least of with blue. And when you're all finished, you hit that green check button in the top right corner. Now that you've watched this video and we reviewed how to make a bar graph, you can head back to Seesaw to begin this activity. Have fun, first graders.